Welcome to Madame Raven's. This way to the library. She's been expecting you.
Shall we play a game?
All right, my darlings. Today is a little bit different. I'd really love if you played with me. I have a few EVPs I've picked up in the infamous Ogden Stock Exchange building. This building is in Ogden, Utah. It was built as the place where cattle were bought and sold, thus the stock exchange building real livestock. Coming in off the range, rough and tumble cowboys would come to clean up and drink and play cards and, well, tumble. It was a rough place in a rough town. For many years, it was the murder capital of the West. The building itself was beautiful, and the new one was built in 1930 by a man named Hodgson. Here I have an EVP where the leader of my group, Kevin, was trying to remember the name of the man who was the architect and builder. He couldn't remember the name, so we got some help.
Oh, come on.
While it was the exchange, a triple murder happened back in the 30s. A rancher felt that he was cheated, and in the days of the Depression, that could be life or death. Well, he turned it into a death for the president of the exchange and his two secretaries, shooting all three in their office on the upper floor. After which it was turned into a mental health center for the county for a few decades, during which there were 4 deaths, 3 suicides, and 1 heart attack of a janitor. The suicides were a hanging in the observation room, one woman throwing herself out of a window and bleeding to death, and a man throwing himself headfirst from the balcony in the lobby. The same time, it was also the county morgue in the basement. A paranormal group before us had recorded a famous EVP in the place. When no one was in the building, they'd left the audio recording running and went to the gas station for a break. I'll leave a link below to the Coast to Coast AM clip of that EVP. This took place in the same room the woman died from jumping from the window. Now, when the very wonderful lady who owned the building at the time we investigated had bought it, she turned it into a haunted house based on a mental asylum. As she was looking around, she turned and saw a young girl in what seemed to be a white nightgown. Thinking she was a neighbor girl, she said hi and watched as the girl disappeared in front of her eyes. Over time, she heard her often, singing, talking, etc. Many people did. They found the girl called herself Rebecca, and she would often sing Ring Around the Rosies, but with the old ending, we all fall dead. She was seen often enough as well, including getting work services called on the owner, as a girl was seen crawling backwards down the stairs when the haunted house was underway. The owner had a tough time explaining that there was no living girl working there, but they were finally satisfied it was true and she wasn't using underage actors. Many thought perhaps Rebecca was a child of a working girl in the very early years of the exchange, or, sadly possible, was put to work herself, a la Jeffrey Epstein. Here's an EVP of a woman saying, "Me and Rebecca." But as we further investigated, we called into question whether Rebecca was a little girl at all. We would hear a voice that perfectly mimicked our fearless leader, Kevin, All the while, Kevin would be blocks away on a break. I would ask if it was Rebecca pretending to be Kevin and would get a giggle and a yeah. This bit of audio that happened a second time. You can clearly hear a man's voice. Trust me, it matches Kevin's. I tried to enhance the quieter part as best I could. I wonder if there's serious investigations going on now. It's so quiet.
I hear it coming that way.
It's Kevin.
Yeah, I see he's still outside talking to the ladies.
That's Kevin's voice, yes. Kevin, where are you at? Out front? He's out back.
The sound in this place carries weird.
It does. But we've had him imitated before.
Oh, you have?
You're getting imitated again. We can't decide where it's coming from, though. And it stopped. We've had him speaking when he wasn't even saying anything. We've heard his voice. Oh, let's see. I can't hear it up here.
I can hear it pretty good over here.
We're still in the office trying to find your phantom voice. No, wasn't that.
It's weird. I don't
When I was standing here, it sounded like it was coming from this room, but it's not out in the hall.
Yeah. You sure he's back in the back?
Yeah. And the thing was, when he was talking in the radio, it was different than the voice. Can you do that again? You're really good at imitating Kevin. Can we hear you do that again?
Is that you, Rebecca? Are you playing with us?
Did you hear a little girl's voice? Did it say yeah? Rebecca, you stink.
Oh my God, you're coming home.
That's freaky. Oh my gosh. Some other interesting instances that happened. A 7-foot-tall cowboy with full beard, duster, and hat in the basement. Kevin himself nearly stepped right into him rounding a corner. I didn't see the apparition, but watched it happen to Kevin as I was standing in the hall. I'd never seen him scared before or since. I was lucky enough to have a ping-pong ball that was on the floor thrown at me from about waist height from the old morgue. I was very thrilled that night. One weekend, we used a ghost box. I didn't go on the Friday, but the Saturday I brought my younger special needs brother, who loves this sort of thing. Turns out they knew he was coming as they got his name, Kurt, the night before on the ghost box. Kevin didn't know my brother's name until I'd brought him. I've had many experiences there that I wouldn't put as convincing enough for evidence. A great deal, in fact. A ton of shadow people that could be written off as imagination. Sounds not picked up on recorder, only heard by one person, or, of course, orbs, and so forth. Well, now you got a little history on the place.
Shall we play the game?
I'll play some EVPs, designated by numbers. Write in the comments what you hear, if anything, or just let me know if you heard something strange in the designated part. And tomorrow or so, I'll comment what I heard, which isn't necessarily the truth, and we'll see what the consensus is, shall we? Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7.
Hello?
That time you and I were in the lobby.
Hello?
That time you and I were in the lobby. Number 8. Don't tell me you guys are afraid of us. I have no idea. Don't tell me you guys are afraid of us. I have no idea. Number 9.
Can you make that noise again?
Can you tap twice if you're a girl?
Before you asked that, did you hear a female voice down the hall? Can you make that noise again?
Can you tap twice if you're a girl?
Before you asked that, did you hear a female voice down the hall?
Number 10.
Yeah, just don't see it anymore.
Oh, I love.
The original art,
Yeah.
just don't see it anymore.
Oh, I love.
The original art.
Well, there you are, darlings. A different video just for the fun of it. Let me know if you liked it or hated it. This was my old hobby, and I have a ton of these things. Thank you all for listening and stopping by. You all make it so worthwhile for me. And a special thanks to my Patreon supporters, Charlotte Emerson, Ermin Case, Darren and Jennifer, and Laura. If you like this, please hit the little button to let me know. If you didn't, hit the little button to let me know. Leave a comment. I'm always glad to talk with you, my darlings. I'm open to suggestions and critiques. If you have not subscribed, please do so and ring the little bell so you know when to come up and see me. And I will talk to you next time, my darlings. Farewell.